This is my final form. Cowboy hat Indigo. I literally have this on because I did not want to glue down my wig. I want to zoom out a little more so you guys see this slut on my shirt. Hold on. Katya is so washed out. Not like, no, like on the shirt. She's washed out on the shirt. I also, am I wearing this hat backwards? I don't fucking care. Oh my gosh. Got a secret, can you? Wrong video. I'll do a dissertation on Pretty Little Liars next time. Just want to start off by saying, I know this wig, I know. And I feel like I especially have to make that abundantly clear on today's video. Hi, my name's Indigo. Today I'm talking about Drag Race and I'm very fucking excited. I'm gonna give you the breakdown and then we'll get into it because I have a lot of things to say about this season, babes. Number one, don't give me a lie, I don't want it. I am a part of the LGTV community. 2, some of my favorite drag queens, not from this season, just in general. Obviously have Trixie, we have Katya, we have Kimchi, we have Bob, we have Monet Exchange, Shangela. I love Bimini Bambulash babes. 2 in the Bimini, 1 in the Bulash. Crystal Versace, I love Jinx. Lady Camden, Juno Birch. I feel like Juno Birch isn't going to be on Drag Race. I don't know if she even wants to be on Drag Race. And that's like fine. I feel like not that some of these drag queens need Drag Race, but like social media is like huge now and she's like super big without it, which is super cool. Anyways, Kylie Sonique Love. I was thirsting over her the entire time I was watching her season. Naomi Smalls. What I'm gonna do is just list the people that I forgot here. Raja, fucking duh. I feel like she should be a judge. Would she want to do that? Raja needs to be a fucking judge. Alaska. Those are some of my favorite drag queens. Some of the drag content I consume is, obviously I watch Bob and Monet's podcast. I have been watching Drag Race since season 8. I remember my friend in high school got me into it, and then I ended up getting my mom into it. And besides season 10, I don't know why, we kept missing the date and we just ended up literally not watching it. But besides season 10, we have come together every single week and watched Drag Race. I just went to my first drag show like in real life recently. Also, I love Peppermint. I met Peppermint. I went to DragCon a while ago actually. Also, Kimchi. I love Kimchi. Funnily enough, before I knew anything about Korean culture, I saw a sign in a restaurant for kimchi, and the only kimchi I knew was the drag queen. So I was like, oh my gosh, they named a dish after her? Wow. No. How the fuck was I supposed? The fandoms I'm in seem to carry the most toxic fan bases in the world. Marvel or DC or K-pop. One Direction was a thing. That fandom was toxic. And the Drag Race fandom is so fucking toxic. I'm not truly like into the fandoms like I am with K-pop and like Marvel and other stuff. I think that might be for good reason. This fandom seems to be like racist, which is a little bit interesting, babes. Nothing I haven't seen or heard before. Not my first rodeo. I'm just gonna put a disclaimer here and say that these are just my opinions. It's my opinion. These are just my fucking opinions. I am not the type of person to hear somebody having a different opinion than me and then tell them to go die or dox their address on Twitter. I love having conversations, and I'm 21 and I know this in my head, and there are people that are older than me that like cannot figure this shit out. I want to have a conversation with you and hear your different opinion. I'm not trying to fight you. We can disagree and have a conversation. That's what a fucking part of a conversation is, talking about your different opinions. Every single thing I've experienced has shaped all of my opinions today, okay? And everything you've experienced has shaped your opinions today. So I'm not going to invalidate your opinion, and you shouldn't invalidate mine just because we have different opinions. That's 1. 2, I understand. These opinions are about the characters portrayed on Drag Race, because we know, blame it on the edit, but we know that some things are edited in a certain way to fulfill a quota of the characters the producers want to portray on Drag Race. Some things may be edited a little weird. Some things might be left out. I also know You're not allowed to have your phone however long you're on Drag Race. This shit is a pressure cooker. And then these are people coming from different backgrounds, different places. Some of them who have never performed or been with other drag queens before. Some of them like Sugar and Spice. So now you're putting them with a bunch of other big personalities, and then you're also on national television. And then you have one bad week, and then RuPaul comes on and is like, tell me about your inner saboteur, that time where you saw your dad die. Feelings are heightened. This is a competition show, but this is also a reality TV show. Some of the people on here and how they are portrayed are not how they actually are in real life, something that I had to learn. And I also understand that some of these girls want to make good TV. So like Mistress Isabel Brooks, I first was introduced to her. She seemed like the type of person that was mean for no reason. And I fucking hate mean people down to my fucking core, especially if you're just mean for no reason. But then I was like, wait, I need to calm down. She's a fucking drag queen. They read. And I think especially because these drag queens, as seasons have progressed on RuPaul's Drag Race, have gotten so much nicer, which is great. So when you do have a drag queen that comes in fucking guns a-blazing and starts reading, you're like, oh my gosh. No, it's just that nobody else fucking does that. Reminds me of one of the queens from older seasons, because this is how Drag Race was. I also want to say I've never done drag before. I am not a drag queen. I also don't feel comfortable talking so loudly about things that I might be ignorant to or have no experience in. And that's something else on the internet that I think is fucking hilarious. People just expressing their ignorance and being so proud of it. I'm into manifestation, and then there'll be people that say manifestation is fucking delusional. You guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You are just proving that you're fucking ignorant. If I'm ignorant about something, I don't want to openly be like, hey guys, look, I'm ignorant and I'm proud. Ooh, I'm be saying that with this cowboy hat on, please. Just wanted to say all of that. These are just my opinions. These are not opinions about the actual people, because the actual people are, I know, definitely different, or at least a little bit different from how they're being portrayed on Drag Race. I know this is a reality TV show, and I know that, there's some editing. The producers on here are trying to fulfill like, oh, I want you to be a mean girl. I want you to be blah, blah. No hate to any of these drag queens.
I am in business.
I have my notes, and I wrote this before. Timmy Turner titties. Titties and Lucy LaDuca were in the bottom. So I said my top 4 was Lux, Mistress, Sasha, and Anitra, which I guessed correctly. This season, unfortunately, ever since I started being like, let me think like how a producer would think, I have been correct about who's been in the bottom 2 and who has gone home literally every single fucking week, which makes me a little bit sad that I can't I really want to fully enjoy things. I don't think it's cool to be like, oh yeah, I know backstage tea. No, this is a fucking TV show. I don't want to know what is going on. I don't want to be able to guess. But I think for this top 4, there are cool YouTube videos people edit about the moment we knew Trixie Mattel was going to win, the moment we knew these Drag Race queens were going to win their season. And I think there was a certain week where everybody was like, okay, this is going to be who it is. My winner is Anitra. I really want Anitra to win. She has something different. All of the other girls, super fucking charismatic. I don't want to say her personality might not be that big compared to Mistress and Lux, but just something about her just makes me want to fucking root for her. She's just personable. Also, she likes wrestling. So hi, Anitra, you're watching this. I saw your on Mercedes post. I was like, Ariana, what are you doing here? If any of these people win, I will be happy. I just want Anitra to win. Lux, I just love her fucking attitude. Once again, I'm into manifestation. So bitch, you better fill your motherfucking oats. I understand that some people are insecure, and I used to be that person, but I don't want to be around those people. I want to be around somebody that's like, yeah, absolutely, I'm that bitch, I'm gonna win, duh, what the fuck. I got her this far in the competition. Also, her looks did too, and she's funny, and I love her, and she brings TV. Okay, so does Mistress. Sasha is obviously a fucking legend, and I fucking love Anitra. Anitra had me ever since Walk That Duck. Anitra had everybody since Walk That Duck. Let's get into some shit. Jesus Christ. This is not a recap of every single fucking episode. I'm just gonna talk about things that stuck out to me. Let's start with Sugar and
Category is
social media queens and people's gripes with social media queens. This happens not only in Drag Race, but outside of Drag Race too. Me and my friend, we were going to a school, and this guy was like, the things he was saying, I guess he expected us to be a bitch. And he expected us to feel like we were better than people because we had a bunch of followers on social media. And I feel like if that is your first thing, I hope you get 0 followers on social media, because I don't think of it like that. They're just followers. People's accounts your account can disappear like that. Remember when Instagram like kept shutting down every hour on the hour? Whatever your mind automatically goes to, I think that says a lot about who you are. When homophobic people are like, oh, that's gay, or they want to like, oh, but I'm not gay though. If your mind is already going there, you're not scared of gay people. You're scared of being gay. If you think that putting a skirt on makes you gay, I think you're gay. Like, I just think you're gay. It has nothing to do with the skirt and the fact that your mind is already like, oh my gosh, am I gay? I'm going to be perceived as gay. You're gay. And it's okay to be gay. It was just super annoying to me that like it seemed like people thought Sugar and Spice were gonna think that they were better than everyone else because of their social media followers. No, they should think they're better than everyone else because they think they're better than everyone else. It has nothing to do with social media followers. And it was obvious that they didn't fucking think that way because people who have a lot of followers don't think that way. And if they do, it's a very small minority and they're stupid. If you had those amount of followers that Sugar and Spice did and that's automatically where your mind goes, I know you'd be acting like an absolute fucking ass. Getting that many followers is an achievement, and I hate that people, it's so weird because people can be jealous of how many followers you have but then also shoot it down. It is absolutely a fucking achievement, and congrats to them, and I'm glad that they got in the competition. Half the time these bitches are literally just jealous because there are obviously more recent seasons, there have been a lot more social media queens, and it seems to be the same thing happening over and over again where the social media queens aren't taken seriously. Why am I not taken seriously just because I post my drag on a platform where people can see it? It's very... Anyways. Princess Poppy, the element of drag in the critique she got, and from what I saw, was missing. It could always be amped up to like something else. One more thing. That make them say that shit reminded me of what RuPaul said to Maddie Morphosis. That's just something that I saw. I feel like she had like a bodysuit or something. There was just always an element of like more can be added. And I also want to say I understand not everybody's coming to this budget of Drag Race with like $800 million. And I feel like there's this channel that talks about Drag Race that I watch. And like they made a good point of like, yo, should there be like a budget cap? In the words of Naomi Smalls, life's not fair. But like I feel like I would hear critiques of like Michelle being like, oh, you could have done more or whatever. And it's like, or she'll be like, it's not about money, but like you could have added more. Like, where's more? When it's like, if I had more money, I'd be able to add more. But like compared to these other queens, I don't. I think that's kind of unfair. But I also do agree with Michelle to a certain extent. You know, there have been queens that didn't have a lot of money compared to the other girls and still did a really good job. And I honestly think that money doesn't buy taste. So that personal taste. But I also do like Princess Poppy's drag. Next, Mistress and
This ain't her night.
This is where my opinions come in. When you're insecure and can't joke about certain things, and Malaysia came across as that, Mistress has some thick ass skin and a lot of people don't. When she was joking around, Malaysia didn't seem like she knew, and then turned around from them fighting to not fighting seemed really quick and really weird. But then I understand it's kind of like I don't know how long that they filmed for and now how long they're together for. So I feel like after a certain point, it's like, you know what? There's no point in fighting. Let's stop fucking fighting. And then she went home. Storyline resolved. Get your ass out of here. I don't know. I just felt like if you really had a problem, because that's just how Mistress is, right? Mistress is a drag queen that throws shade, kiki it up, right? She'll read you, whatever, and then you fucking move on. And it seemed fine, but then Malaysia started to get into her feelings after that whole fight about, oh my God, oh, we want this song, oh, we want this song. And ever since then, she's been upset, which, okay, I'm not going to invalidate somebody's feelings. I said what I said. She was feeling a certain way and she felt like Mistress was ignoring the feeling. But then they all had the conversation and Sasha was like, cool, how about you, Malaysia? And Malaysia was still whatever. I just feel like Malaysia was coming across, I don't want to call somebody insecure, but she was coming across as insecure, and insecure and secure do not come together. I remember in high school, I had a friend who would read me sometimes, and it made me feel bad because I was insecure. So I just went up to them and I was like, hey, like, I'd appreciate it if you stopped doing that. And they were like, cool. And then they never did it again. Like, it can really be like that. Next, Marshall's.
My day wants her, Miss Sexy.
Let me read this. This is the longest shit I had. This has happened before. And I literally, after I wrote this down, I saw a video that was recommended to me on YouTube talking about what happens when you follow judges' critiques. Michelle gives you a critique. You've changed the critique. You get eliminated. Talking about her makeup, right? Why are you picking these drag queens to be on Drag Race for their charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent, and then telling them to change things about themselves that got them on Drag Race in the first place? If you actually had a problem with Marshall's makeup that fucking bad, you wouldn't have accepted her onto the show. I don't understand. It seems like they want the facade of accepting new drag queens, being like, yeah, like, don't you cannot wear a wig, you cannot wear like hourglass padding and all that stuff, but then freak the fuck out when they don't wear a wig. I'm a gay ass bitch. I'm Joby J. And don't have a padded hourglass figure like Lucy LaDuca. Like Spice and Sugar weren't padded. Luxe wasn't padded. I don't know if they said anything about Luxe, but like Spice and Sugar weren't padded. Certain queens are not like padded like fucking and aren't wearing 80,000 pounds of makeup. No shade to those who do. I love bitch. Oh, the Vivian is also one of my favorite drag queens. And in the UK, just makeup in general, they wear so much more makeup and it looks absolutely fucking amazing. My thing is, not every drag queen wants to do that, and that's not a part of every single drag queen's persona. It wouldn't make sense for Marshall's to wear 20,000 pounds of makeup because she's not giving pageant. That's not what her character is. Her character is literally from the Brady Bunch from the 70s show, and they weren't doing that. Michelle said it seemed like newer drag queens were scared of padding. No, it seems like you're scared that they aren't wearing a bunch of padding or padding at all. Drag, I feel like now has progressed, but to a certain point, and I feel like people can still argue that drag is the illusion of femininity, which, you know, even saying that, I'm like, but I feel like up to a certain point, it was an illusion of femininity. But even with the illusion of femininity, not every woman has triple D mommy milker knockers, and not everyone has an hourglass figure. And they're just as much of a woman as women who have triple HIJK elemental P, big mommy milker jugs, and the most curvy hourglass figure in the world. Some drag queens do that and some drag queens don't. For some drag queens also, the goal may not be to express femininity. The goal may be to express just their art in general, which is part of the reason why people do drag, because drag is an art form. But I just think it's super weird to me when it's like these people auditioned and got onto Drag Race for them being... Crystal Method is also a great example because they straight up told her to change her makeup. I definitely think her makeup looked better in the end, but I just think it's interesting to me and a little weird to me how it's like, oh, you get on Drag Race literally for your... You being you. The U in cunt stands for unique. And then they come on here and then they're like, and it's something that's so integral as like makeup or shit like that. And it's like, oh, actually do that different. But also, I also want to say, I fucking love Michelle Visage so fucking much. I love her so much. My favorite line, and I say this all the time, it's just a piece of fabric. It's just a piece of fabric wrapped together, tied together. She literally said that to Lex last week and I was literally screaming. I love Michelle so much. I've never done drag before. Michelle has been around a lot more drag queens than me. Michelle is older than me. She has a lot more life experience. She also knows what she's talking about, but like also at the end of the day, yes, this is RuPaul's Drag Race, and when you're competing on RuPaul's Drag Race, their opinions matter a lot. But when you get out of RuPaul's Drag Race, their opinions are just opinions. I understand if it's like, hey, your eyeliner's crooked. Your nose contour, Trixie, is crooked. Fix it. See, your makeup would look better if it was even. Like, I understand if it's like critiques like that. Or like, hey, your hemming is crooked or zipper is off or whatever. But if it's like, hey, you should change your makeup or change who you are, I just feel like it doesn't make sense, because it's like, why did you get them onto here in the first place? Once again, not a lot. There are some women that don't wear 80,000 pounds of makeup. There's some drag queens that don't wear 80,000 pounds of makeup. Then again, I'm not a drag queen, so when I saw her, I wasn't really like... It was literally after the fact they were like, yo, you're not wearing a lot of makeup, you should probably add more. I was like, oh shit, she's really not. But like, also it's like, I don't know, because I'm going to say this and be like, but isn't that what that is? Like, I don't know if it's like wearing more makeup or just making the makeup more drag. I think maybe that was what Michelle was going at, because I feel like there's a different, I can wear a bunch of makeup and cake it on and not look like a drag queen. I feel like there's just more enhanced features. Like somebody in full glam next to Trixie Mattel, they're both wearing a lot of makeup, but the choices that they make separates like Trixie being like, okay, drag makeup, than just somebody wearing glam. So I think that might have been what they were getting at. Once again, this is just my opinion, and I would love to hear Michelle's opinion about this and everybody's opinion about this. So
I ain't tryna.
all I'm gonna say, Salina came across as so incredibly delusional, and so did Lucy. And I think the difference between Lux and Salina and Lucy, I don't think Lux is delusional. I think that Lux is confident. The definition of delusion is when you think you're right about something and you are objectively and subjectively wrong. When they were going down the line, and this question happens every fucking season. We cannot get plucked about this shit. We know it's coming. We know it's happening. You guys gotta fucking stop. If you have been in the bottom 3 weeks in a row, if you, out of every single queen standing on stage, has been in the bottom the most, why the fuck wouldn't they say you? If you've been in the bottom the most, if you've gotten the most critiques. And something about this group of queens too is so funny. I don't know why they're portraying this question in a different way other than what the fuck it is. Who do you think should go home? I portray that as the only way it should be okay, you know what? I actually like how Lux answered the question. That was a very passionate way to answer the question. I fuck with that. But the question, based off the competition we're in to win $200,000, which is why you haven't been using your phone and have one drink a day, and the reason why you're here and freaking out in the first place, you know, this competition that you're in, based on the competition, who the fuck do you think should go home? It's not, oh, I don't like this person, so they should go home. Well, and Salina was like, well, Lucy, you don't like some other girls, so why did you say them? Because that's not the question. The question wasn't, so who do you hate and who should go home because you hate them? No, the question is based off the competition, who should go home? You've been in the bottom so many fucking times. I feel like, I don't know why. Well, I understand why we're getting so plucked, because you don't want to fucking go home. But like, also, we have to be fucking honest with ourselves. I just felt like Salina came across on my television screen as delusional. I'm not calling her delusional. I'm saying that's how she came across. She was mad. And Lucy. Here we go. Okay, so we know. Everybody says reminds of Jan, and they're doing a collab for a song, which I love. It's so funny because it's like you have to want it, but you can't want it too much. When Lucy was like, you don't want to call me creative, you say my drag is like generic, I'm dressed as the fucking Loch Ness monster or whatever she was. And my mom goes, you're just wearing a bodysuit. You can have a creative idea, but not execute it creatively. So while the idea was creative, you can't sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm super creative, blah, blah, blah. You were just wearing a one piece. I think the reason why she got so plucked is because this is how it came across. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm not Lucy. I don't know Lucy. Lucy, please correct me if I'm wrong. This is how it came across to me. It felt like Lucy came into the competition and deep down, she didn't really know who she was. I mean, one person, it could just be one person. But people are coming at you. They're not even coming at you. Well, kind of, they were. When they're like, oh, we just don't think you're creative. Or it was you're coming across as fake comment and not genuine comment. I'm pretty sure, didn't the judges say that or pick up on that or whatever? And it's like, well, if I don't even know who I am, I don't even know how I can come across. It seems like she's being fake, but it's not like she's being fake. It just seemed like she didn't know who she was. But then again, like, she had her character for her in drag, I feel like came across as very clear. It was just coming across as like insecure. It was literally just the same thing as Jan, where everybody was kind of getting turned off by her not wanting to win so bad, but she was so, because yes, you want to win. It's $200,000, RuPaul's Drag Race. But like, it was just coming across as so intense. That's what the judges were saying. She wasn't having fun. Please don't send hate to her. It already happened. It's already continuing to happen. But Lucy and Salina definitely at some points in the competition came across as very delusional. But, you know, made good TV. And once again, I'm not talking about them as a person. This is just the character that was edited to come out on television. These are just my opinions. Comment your Drag Race opinions below. Please don't send hate to any of the queens. You guys are absolutely fucking stupid, and insane and ridiculous if you do. On that note, this video is so long. Goodbye.